Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm doing another slide photographing video. I'm going to have a couple of these coming out and then I might have some more book listing. I just haven't had the time to go thrifting to put out a thrifting video yet, but hopefully I'll have time to do that sometime, in the next 2 to 3 years. I joke but not, we are 3 weeks out from school starting for my kids, which means school supplies and fees and all of that stuff is coming up right now. So, yay. We've already started preseason for my high schooler's sports, and his normal season will start in 2 weeks. So, it's a lot. Where we are in Illinois, the sports season can start a week before school starts. So they're able to start a week before. Preseason, we can have 20 contact days, and that is where this week he'll have the end of his 20 contact days, and then he'll have a week break, and then he'll start his actual season. It was nice being able to do the contact days. We did not get to do them last year because we were a freshman, but this year, since we are already established on the team and stuff, we are able to do the contact days, which is really nice. And I think he's enjoyed them, even though they've been super hot and he's come home very, very sweaty every day. I think he has enjoyed doing those contact days, getting out and moving and whatnot. This is also the need sports physicals time of year and getting all of that done and doing everything. And we have a parent meeting for school and all of that. These slides are I'm still working on this group of slides, and this group of slides I bought in a closet. I saw the slide projector, did not see the slide boxes, just kind of gambled and hoped that there were slides in there because I honestly didn't want the projector, and I've sold it in parts so far. But there were slides in there. There were several boxes of slides in there, which is great. I'm still going through them. I just photographed some from the 1980s, and I am going to stand by what I said about these slides previously. Always look at your slides. Look at them very closely. You don't want to accidentally sell something that may be inappropriate. I was just going through slides from vacation in 1983 to Reed Lake or Rend Lake or something like that. Anyway, I was looking through and there were a bunch of children sans clothing running around campgrounds and stuff. If I had not looked very closely at that, that could have ended up in my pile to sell. I'm very glad I looked closely. I was able to recognize them and I was able to dispose of them properly versus accidentally sending them to somebody. And I'm sure the child that was, probably really close to my age would not appreciate photos of them as a 1 or 2 year old running around a campground. So be aware of that. That's probably the most common. I'm not seeing any actual stuff like that, but bathtub pictures, campground pictures. Apparently the 70s and 80s children were clothes neutral at the time. So be very, very aware of that. Always look very closely. You don't want to accidentally sell something that is improper or inappropriate. And I do recommend a slide viewer for that. I use our slide viewer just to magnify the slides because I am in my 40s and I'm supposed to wear my glasses, but half the time I don't know where they are. So it's better for me to use the slide viewer, which can blow up the slide to approximately the size of a note card. So that's big enough for me to see details and all of that and be able to say, hey, this is I shouldn't sell this, or this has mold on it, or this is discolored, or sometimes I find things I don't realize what they are. I found a bunch of Disney World slides, but I didn't know they were Disney World because they were just the Jungle Cruise and then the Tiki Village area and where the fake animatronic birds are and stuff. I didn't know that was Disney World until I blew that up the size of a note card and I was able to actually see some details on there. And I was able to tell. So, and you can tell names of boats or signs and all of that makes it cars. That is why I like to use the slide viewer just so I can blow it up and see The videos I took yesterday of listing slides, I do have a little snippet of me running the slides through the slide viewer, so you can kind of see what that looks like and how quickly I can run them through. I think I did 100 slides in less than 3 minutes. So this is not a time intensive process, but it is, I believe, crucial to listing slides and making sure there's no damage, making sure things are proper and all of that. Usually the slides that are hard for me to figure out where they are, some of them are labeled, some of them are not labeled at all, and some of them are labeled like John's slides, which doesn't help me at all. I'll tend to label them by description, like camping, mountains, fishing, Americana, people, holiday. So if there's a lot of like people in there, or if it's just like maybe Christmas slides, I will list that with the description instead of the place, but I'll always put the year. Granted, the year's kind of dicey because I'm going by the year that they were printed, not the year that they were produced. So the Christmas ones may say February 1984, but it's Christmas, December 1983, but they weren't printed till February. So if there's no label on the slides, no label on the slide box, I just have the back of the slide to go off of. I don't want to be like, well, duh, this is Christmas, so it was obviously the Christmas before. I don't want to do that because I don't have actual physical, tangible proof of it. These people could have celebrated Christmas in February. The likeliness is slim to none, and you can kind of infer on that, but you don't want to infer on things in which people are buying. So I would just put 1984 on there, and I might put February 1984 if they're all from February 1984, but most of the time I will just lot the years together, so there might be some from August or November or February, and I'll just put like 1984 on there. That can be slightly deceptive though, because the Christmas ones aren't from Christmas 1984, they're from Christmas 1983, but they are labeled February 1984, which can be very confusing, and some people can have issues with that, but that is what I do when I'm looking at the slides and seeing what I wanted to do there. And some of them don't print dates on them at all. These color transparency slides tend to have the dates like stamped into them, and the Kodachrome slides tend to have them in red ink on the back. But then there are some slides that have absolutely no dates and you just kind of like meh. And with those, I will put like, if it's in a box of other slides from the 60s, I would just put 1960s as a 10-year span, because I cannot pin this down to 1962, 1968, I can't. So I'll put 1960s by inferring what I just said you don't want to infer, by inferring with the other slides in that box that this was 1960s. I will say this lot of slides that came from the closet, they did not label them as well as the other people's slides that I bought from the estate sale, in which those were meticulously labeled. A lot of the slides were each individually labeled by what's on them. This one, again, I had 2 boxes that said Reed Lake 1984. So I can list those, Reed Lake 1984. I put like camping, fishing, stuff like that in the description. But then other things were labeled not at all, or labeled John slides, or labeled 1985. So I'm having to kind of infer on that, and I'm lotting them all together. And even some of the ones that were labeled 1985 had multiple different months in them. So they had lotted them together. So it can be a little hinky there, but that is the best way I can do it. I suppose that's my biggest tip for that. Thank you for watching the channel. Please like and subscribe and have a productive
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.